Om Shri Sai Ram. I offer my pranam at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Standing before this august gathering, my thoughts go down the memory lane. The days of my school, when after every performance on the guests would leave, our teacher would come on the backstage and instruct us, guide us, give us some tips. Little did I know then that my teachers were preparing me to present myself before the court of science. My teachers were preparing me so that one day I could present myself before my master. Revered elders, brothers and sisters, Sai Ram to you all. And old poet once said, Ramo Mitra Yunam, सब मिट गए जहां से, रामो मित्र यूनान, सब मिट गए जहां से, कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी. Meaning, the Romans, the Greeks, the Egyptians, everyone saw the dust with the passage of time. But there is something in this Bharatiya culture, there is something in our civilization which keeps it perennial, which keeps it ever flowing. What is that in this culture that keeps it ever flowing? Dance was given by Bhagwan himself Judaism. Dance alive in three words: Preeti, Bhiti, Neeti. Daiva Preeti, Papa Bhiti, Sanganiti. Love for God, fear of sin, morality in society. This has been the Mahamantra which has kept our culture perennial. As a student of economics, we all know the first lesson which is taught to us is that of law of demand and supply. But who promulgated this law? This very law was given to us by Bhagwan in proper youth as Lord Krishna. We all know that in Dwapar, the supply of milk was in abundance in Nandagram, not because of the Operation Flood, but because of the Operation Devotion, which was there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days in a year. And because of this abundant supply, not only the local demand, but even the demand of Mathura, where milk and milk products were exported, was satisfied. And it was this which caused all the problems. It so happened that the supply exceeded demand, and the prices of milk and milk products started falling down in Mathura. And then the economy of Nandagram started shaking. Just as Bhagwan revitalized Indian economy in 1991, same thing Bhagwan did in Dwapar by revitalizing the economy of Nandagram. How he did? He knew that if he took classes in demand and supply, people of Nandagram would listen to him. Because the only language which people of Nandagram understood was either the name Krishna, or the melodious tune of the flute of Krishna, or the actions of Krishna. So, Bhagwan along with his friends started breaking the pot filled with butter and other milk products so that supply could be curtailed, supply could be balanced to the demand, and the equilibrium could be restored in the economy. It was then that Bhagwan laid down the foundation of MBA program. What was that MBA program? Management by action, not like today's MBA program which is management by argument. Before coming to Bhagwan's lotus feet, my knowledge of Indian culture and civilization was something like a Ramayana, which could be said in 8 lines. Ado Rama Tapo Vanadigamnam, Hasvamnam Kanchanam, Vaidehi Haranam Katari Maranam, Sugrivatam Bhashanam, Vali Nigrahanam Samudrataranam, Lanka Sridahanam, Paschadravanam Pakaranam Maranam, He Sathya Ramayana. That was my knowledge of Indian culture and spirituality. But today when I stand before this august gathering, I don't claim that I am authority on Indian culture. I don't claim that I am an expert on Indian business. But with Bhagwan's blessing, it has been my humble effort present before this august gathering how Indian ethos and values can take Indian business in the 21st century. The greatness of the Indian culture lies in its simplicity. Just as a sweet little smile of a Bhagwan, so is our culture. But at the very same time, this mischievous smile of our Lord appears to us as an enigma wrapped in a mystery and comes to us as a puzzle. Same is the case with Indian culture. Many a times it appears to us an abstruse thing, a very difficult thing. Now, I mentioned the word simple. What does that mean? The simplicity of Indian culture lies in the fact that it says that every human being has an objective, every human life has a goal, and the purpose of human life is to see unity in diversity. And the first prerequisite for this is the feeling of love, is the feeling of concern. It is easy for me to stand here and talk about love, but it is equally difficult even for me to practice this. And it is here that I take refuge in Lord's feet. My 23-year-old ego, blown in the winds of arrogance, could not accept this fact of love and concern. I was in Nagpur, and I was visiting a factory for a fortnight. It was Thursday morning. I attended the chairman's cabin. And then, after introducing myself, saying that I am so-and-so from Sathya Institute of Higher Learning, before I could put a full stop, the general manager was sitting next to me and asked, "You are from Sai Baba's place?" I said, "Yes, sir." "Oh, I have heard that Sai Baba has constructed a big super specialty hospital. Is it true?" I said, "Very true. And even the medication there is free." And then, instead of a dialogue between me and the chairman, there was a discussion between the general manager and the managing director, where the general manager was explaining to the chairman and the managing director what this super specialty hospital is all about. The discussion didn't come to an end in 10 minutes. For the next 3 days, my only job after the first visit in the factory was to explain to the general manager each and every facet of super specialty hospital, each and every aspect of site system of education, each and every detail of our water project. Not only to the general manager, but even to the financial manager, even to the labor officer, even to the marketing manager, so much so that even to the telephone operator. My only job was to talk about Swami. Now during those discussions, they even posed me tricky questions. Right from the hostel food to the divinity of Bhagwan, they asked me questions. And then in heart of my heart I said, "Bhagwan, I can give 1 hour lecture on our hostel food, but please spare me to speak on topic on which even Devas think twice before they open their mouth." And Bhagwan in his unique way spared them also. The greatest challenge which faces the Indian business community is that of quality. The total quality management was not propounded in some premier institutions or on the shop floor of some high-tech industry, but again it was given by Bhagwan in Dwapar, where on the battlefield of Kurukshetra to Arjuna, Bhagwan then said, "Karmanye adhikaraste ma apaleshu kadachana," meaning, do your action, forget about the rest of the thing. But I have a question, because today many people, according to their own convenience, take refuge in this shloka. Being a student of law, I thought, how could Bhagwan leave this shloka just hanging like that? Because he would have already foresaw the loop seekers, the loophole seekers of the Kali age. And then, after a little bit of investigation, I found another shloka where Bhagwan says, "Yoga karmasu kaushalam," meaning yoga is nothing but dexterity in action. Yoga is nothing but perfection in action. And when we put these two shlokas together, we get the lesson of total quality management. On one hand, Bhagwan has said, don't forget about the fruit, just do your action. And on the other hand, Bhagwan says, how that action should be? Your action should be perfect. When these two shlokas come together, Bhagwan says, quality is my problem. I see to it that your product is a quality product. For quality is nothing but divinity hidden inside the product. In the very same factory, one day I happened to interact with the works manager. And what I had done in production manager, I tried to impress myself. I said, "Sir, you should not just concentrate on the process only. You should concentrate right from the stage when the raw material is received." This was nothing new to him, because for 20 years he had been working in the organization and he knew all these things. And then I said, Bhagwan says, quality is nothing but unity between thought, word and deed. No sooner did I utter this statement, the works manager said, Sai Baba kya bolta hai? Unity, that is very important. Immediately when I said there is unity between thought, word and deed, the 20 years experience of the work manager could immediately digest the import of this statement, the significance of this statement. Even Bible talks about quality. Bible says, do unto others what you expect others do unto you. And do not do unto others what you do not expect others do unto you. Meaning what? Simple. If I as a consumer go to market and buy some product, and if I expect a quality product, then it's my responsibility to provide a quality product to the society. And if I as a consumer do not expect a defective product, then what right I have got to provide a defective product to the society? That is the lesson the Bible teaches us. Today, if we want to have a quality product, we talk about ISO 9000 certification. In the field of spirituality, if we want to be qualitative, again we need ISO certification. But what is this ISO certification? ISO, meaning Inside Sai Organization. If we are inside organization, then our spirituality is going to be surely full of quality. Then let that organization be our institute, let that organization be our hospital, let that organization be even the smallest community existing in this whole world. If that be the case, then no one can refuse from quality. But then, quality is not a one-man show. It's a team effort. Team, together, everyone achieves more. Phrases like cutthroat competition, business is war, survival of the fittest, survival of the best, did find place in the business literature. But this can be the law of jungle and not the law of human society. For the Upanishads say, Sahana bhavatu sahano bhunaktu saha vidyam karvavahai tejasvi navadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Meaning, let us work together, let us enjoy the fruits of our work together, and let us reach that glorious height together. This is what Upanishad says about the teamwork. Now, Professor Kasturi once said, the most difficult part of Bhagwan's teaching is that they are very simple. Bhagwan's teaching are just like a homeopathic medicine, very small and sweet. But then our attitude is such that when we visit a doctor, we expect him to provide a big list of antibiotics, we expect him to give us a list of dozen tests which we have to go, and not satisfied with this, we expect that doctor should be capable of extracting at least few hundred rupees from our pocket on every visit which we go to the doctor. Unless and until he does that, we think that doctor is no good doctor at all. Now take the problem of stress. Is stress a modern day product? No. It was present even in the olden days. But the only difference was that the people in the olden days knew to overcome this stress. They took the refuge in Namasparna to this stress. So much so that Ravana, who is known as demon of all the demons, the first and the last one in the kingdom of demonhood, even he knew the importance of Namasmarna to overcome the stress. Let me narrate a small incident. When Bhagwan started constructing the bridge in Treta across the ocean, and when this news reached Lanka, there was a small terror in the demons. But then when they came to know that the bridge was of stones which was floating on the ocean, their morale was shattered. And the middle-level managers and the top-level managers in the organization of Ravana reported this matter to the chief executive officer, that is Ravana himself. Ravana knew that 10 minutes pep talk would not help him motivate him, would not elevate their morale. Some concrete action had to be taken. So he said, don't worry, come in the court next day. Next day, open court was held. Ravana ordered, bring a huge vessel. Not ordered, he wrote, bring a huge vessel. The huge vessel was brought. He said, fill this vessel with water. So the vessel was filled with water. Then he commanded, bring a huge boulder, write my name, and leave it in this vessel. The top level manager who was sitting in that court said, what is our chairman speaking? This is not an ordinary meeting, it's an annual general meeting. Any wrong statement now can prove a disaster to the organization which is already in shambles. But then, no one could dare to question Ravana. The order was obeyed. The boulder with the name of Ravana was left in the utensil, the big vessel, and to the amazement and the surprise and the joy of all, the boulder started floating. The news reached whole of Lanka faster than what our modern satellite communication could have spread. And there was jubilation and joy everywhere. Ravana came to his cabin, retired. But then as Bhagwan often says, pleasure is an interval between two pains. Ravana immediately saw Her Highness Madam Mandodari entering the cabin. Mandodari came straight to Ravana, looked into his eyes and said, you can fool the whole world, oh my dear friend, oh Lankanipati, the emperor of Lanka, but you cannot fool me. In the eyes of the world, no doubt the boulder bearing your name floated on the water, but that is only one half of the story. Let me now narrate to the world the other half. The other half of the story is like that. Before the boulder was left in the water, you in the heart of your heart said, in the name of Lord Rama, I tell you boulder to float, and it was the name of Lord Rama which caused the boulder to float, and it was not Rama. Ravana, who who had won the battle in the morning, lost the war in the afternoon. Like this, I can go on and on. It is not enough that I just talk about the problems and challenges which are facing our motherland today. Bhagwan, let me not just talk about the problems facing our motherland. Give me your strength that I should work to solve these problems, Bhagwan. Let me not just speak about the challenges. Let me not just hear about the challenges facing our motherland, Bhagwan. Give me your courage to face those challenges. Let me not just be a mute observer with the tears rolling down the cheeks of my mother India, Bhagwan. Give me your strength to this hand that it can wipe those tears so that each one of us sitting here can say, where mind is without fear and head is held high, where knowledge is free, where world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where birds come out from depths of by tireless striving, stretches arms towards perfection, where clear stream of reason has not lost its way to the dreary deserts spread of that harvest, where mind is led forward by deeds, where abiding thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, led my country away. And the need of the hour today, Bhagwan, is deedy, not do the church, but your divine is full. Jai Sathya.